Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar. This is White Widow number 4. And I may not like the first issue of White Widow. I think my comments about it are something like it's kind of rises to mediocrity or something like that. Like the inconsistency in the art between because that one had like a couple pieces by Jamie Tyndall in it, and then it had the other artist, and the inconsistency of quality between them was so shockingly jarring that it really sapped my enjoyment. Plus, they kind of sold the book on Jamie Tyndall's art. Like if you look at their Kickstarter campaign for that book, that's all that was shown. Is like, look at these cool covers by Jamie Tyndall, and then you don't really see the interior art. Now in this case, oh no, is that like actually? Oh, I've got like a little missing speck on my book or something. I don't know. That's weird. I didn't notice that until now. But this book is all right. I'd say actually all right's probably kind of underselling it. Like maybe I've gotten used to the art or something, or the artist has gotten a little more confident in it. But I kind of like the way the art looks most of the time. Like here, this perspective looks a little odd. That's just because she doesn't have a nose because it's covered by the mask. But I think it's correct otherwise. Like this is a great first page. You see the villain ascendant over the hero, so the hero has to do something outrageous to escape, and they fight, man. They go at it for that's half the book because that's the staples, and they keep going. Hold on, and we're almost done with the book by the time the action is over. So this book is basically one big action sequence, which I gotta admit I like that. Like I am totally on board for a book that is nothing but a crazy action sequence, and that is what this one delivers. The hero fights desperately against that villain. The villain has similar powers to her own. They're nanite powered, super strong, fast, all that kind of stuff. White Widow has like healing powers, and so does the villain. So it results in like a good rivalry, kind of like Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin is maybe a little bit, superior physically, but he doesn't have the spider sense, so the spider sense lets Peter Parker win. But the Green Goblin has a lot of technological gadgets that Spider-Man just doesn't, and so they end up being kind of balanced. Green Goblin gets the upper hand sometimes, Spider-Man gets the upper hand sometimes. It makes for a great rivalry. That's kind of what we got going on here. We also discover that villain has an alter ego, like there's another face involved there that person takes up. So the evil organization can maintain good PR, that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting conspiracy, and I'm trying not to spoil too much. We also see our heroine, making it home and totally crashing on her friend's bed, and her friend is like, "I am seriously getting a cot tomorrow." And maybe I shouldn't have told you that the hero gets away, but it's her own book. I think you can kind of guess that she's going to survive her own comic book. Maybe that was a bit of a spoiler. Maybe I just spoiled a little too much. But it's a really excellent fight sequence, and you should check that out for sure. Also, at the very end of the book, we kind of introduce like new characters, and all I can think when I look at this is City of Heroes. The Blood Widows were a faction of like a group of psychic soldiers that worked for Lord Recluse, and Lord Recluse had crazy arms sticking out of his back. So, I feel like we're just homaging City of Heroes at this point with these two villains, but they look really cool, don't they? I think this page was drawn by Jamie Tyndall because this art is definitely of an elevated quality compared to the rest of the art in the book. If I gotta, if I gotta start telling like knocking the book for things for perceived shortcomings, it's just that the actual writing, the dialogue, like doesn't really pop as well as I maybe would have liked. There's some bits in here. Hold on. There's one panel in particular I want to look at where I think the coloring kind of looked a little off. Give me just a second here. See if I can find it. You can look at the very tippy top of some of these pages while I flip. Hmm. This must be it, and it doesn't bother me as much now as it did when I first looked at it. but he looks like his coloring is rendered better than the coloring on her figure. Some of that light probably should be cast on her. I doubt that she's fully in his shadow. Maybe she is, but yeah, that the coloring here, it looks so very different between the two of them, even though they're standing next to each other under the same lighting conditions, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. Not a lot though, just enough that I felt like I had to mention it. So White Widow number 4, it's okay. Hold on, I gotta. That's weird. There's like a piece of tape or something had adhered right there on the edge of my book. I think that's not so good. That's also not really their fault. That's like a diamonds kind of problem. Cool cover though, isn't it? Isn't absolutely awesome looking cover. I don't know how I really feel about this series as a whole. Like it started off pretty weak and it's gotten better, but I don't know if I would go so far as to be like this is awesome. Like I'd go like this is pretty good. And whether pretty good is worth $4.99 or not, I can't judge for you. Apparently it is for me because I keep buying these things. Your mileage may, can, and should vary. Take care of yourself. I sure hope to see you again next time. Remember to click that like button, leave me a comment down below, subscribe if you're not, and hit the bell for notifications. Ciao, ciao.